You could always tell the food stamp people when you're at the grocery store and they got a full cart of anything they want.
Me and my kids have been 5 days without food.
Taxpayers do not need to bankroll your junk food pantry or your health problems.
If they cut my EBT, I'm walking right out of them stores with every bit of them groceries. Ain't nobody stopping me. $2 a month, and they think they gonna take it? Hell nah. He needs some milk.
What's going on, guys? It's your boy J2ASMS, and I'm back again with another banger for y'all. Alright, so apparently the world's ending again, at least according to TikTok, because people are absolutely losing their minds about food stamps being cut.
No food stamp benefits for the month of November. Whoop-dee-doo.
My entire For You page looks like a mix between just straight brain rot and like financial apocalypse. It's crazy.
Oh, no.
People yelling, crying, posting their empty fridge. And trust me, I get it. Groceries cost more than rent now. Alright, let's not get too crazy. You can go watch my Why Rent Costs So Much video after this one's over with. But here's the thing. Everybody's complaining about having their food stamps taken away, but nobody's explaining the why behind it. Yeah, the government's reducing benefits, but this isn't random. This is a part of a way bigger picture of how the economy actually works. Today, we're breaking down what's actually going on in regular human language, why the food stamps cuts are happening, and why everyone's panicking. That was a damn tongue twister, right? Food stamps cuts. All right, so let's set the scene. All across the country, millions of people are seeing their SNAP benefits, and that's supplemental nutrition assistance. Millions of people are seeing their SNAP benefits, aka food stamps, shrink. Some by a little, some by a lot.
They just took my food stamps. Oh my gosh.
For some families, that extra $100 to $300 a month disappearing feels like a stab to the gut, especially when groceries are up. I think it's 25%.
If they cut my EBT, I'm walking right out of them stores with every bit of them groceries. Ain't nobody stopping me. $2 a month, and they think they gonna take it? Hell nah.
But the real story is, during the pandemic, the government temporarily boosted assistance so people could afford to eat when the economy was basically on fire. The boost was never meant to be permanent, so now that that emergency is officially over, they're dialing everything back. Sounds logical, right? Except there's one problem. The emergency never ended for a lot of people's wallets. Prices went up and wages didn't, and now that cushion's gone. This means that people aren't just losing their benefits, they're losing that little bit of wiggle room they did have. So now when you see people on TikTok screaming, "They're cutting food stamps, I can't feed my kids," that's not drama, that's reality.
Me and my kids have been 5 days without food. 5 days ago, my food stamps were taken from me, stolen from me with no warning. My food stamps have now decreased from $4,300 to $19 a month for 6 kids. How the hell am I supposed to feed 6 kids on $19 a freaking month?
It's not that everyone's irresponsible. That math ain't mathin'. And while the internet and politicians argue about who needs help, the bigger issue is how we built an economy where full-time workers still need food stamps to survive.
And it's not like I'm like sitting around being lazy just collecting help from the government. I work full time. It's just everything's increasing except my pay rate. There's a lot of people that are in my situation that work full time and still cannot afford to buy food, because your paychecks literally cover just bills.
To get the full context of this situation, I think we need to rewind a little bit, because this didn't just start with one policy change or president. This has been building for decades. America has this weird love-hate relationship with helping people.
People being on food stamps, EBT, welfare, government assistance, free lunch, like none of that bothers me. I don't care if my tax dollars go towards a child being fed, a child having a warm meal to eat.
I don't know why y'all coming on TikTok hollering and crying about how your food stamps got cut off. The people that were actually supplying your food stamps, we're f***ing happy that your got cut off so we can stop paying for this mother. Get a damn job. Your legs work. You're not paralyzed. You got all your limbs. You are capable of applying for a damn job, putting in an application and clocking off in. The only people I feel bad for are the elderly and the people that are actually physically disabled that don't have no mother legs. Like, I don't feel bad for your able-bodied that just decide to lay up there and have a bunch of kids.
When food stamps started, the idea was simple. Make sure people don't starve while they're trying to get back on their feet. Over time, though, it turned into a political hot potato. Every few years, there's talks about cuts, reforms, fraud, you name it, everything. Meanwhile, the cost of living kept climbing like somebody that's trained to run a mountain for the Olympics. Rent, gas, groceries, everything went up, but wages stayed basically frozen since like early 2000s. So people started leaning more on benefits just to make ends meet. Then inflation hit like a freight train after COVID, and the government threw money at the problem to keep things afloat. Stimulus checks, extra unemployment, increased SNAP benefits. Now those programs are being rolled back, but guess what isn't being rolled back? Prices. Inflation is like that one party guest that refuses to leave. So people are understandably freaking out. They spazzing.
They cut my food stamps. I ain't paying for none of this shit. I got babies at home that gotta eat. I ain't paying nothing. I'm walking out with it. Try and stop me.
The system has basically said, you're on your own again. But they forgot to tell the prices to chill. And this is the crazy part. The economy on paper, it looks fine. Stocks are up, unemployment is down, but regular people feel broke. But that's because the growth has gone to corporations and the top 10%. The rest of us have been fighting over crumbs. Sometimes literally. Now we've got to get into the economics, because this part is essential to understanding why the system feels broken. Inflation didn't hit everyone equally. Essentials like food, gas, and rent skyrocketed to the moon. That means that poor and middle class families took the biggest hit, because 80% of their spending just goes to the essentials for survival. So while the average person's paycheck may have went up a little, it's being eaten alive by the rent bills, the grocery bills, like all the essentials. You're not making less money, your money just buys less. A lot of companies quietly raise prices way beyond their actual cost increases. They're pulling record profits while blaming it on inflation. Economists call it greedflation. I call it y'all wildin' for that.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
So yeah, supply chain issues and global shocks do play a role, but so does good old-fashioned greed, baby.
How much can we afford to pay a delivery guy?
Well, if these numbers you gave me are correct...
They are correct, sir.
Then you can't afford to pay him anything. Your prices are too low. Why do you think Staples and Dunder Mifflin can't match your prices?
Corporate greed?
On the policy side, cutting benefits helps the government save money on paper, which looks really great in a press release, but it also pushes more families into needing emergency aid later on.
I haven't been on food stamps for about 6 months because I got a new job like 5-6 months ago and I knew I wasn't going to qualify. Tell me why I got this letter saying that I owe food stamps $2,095. What the?
So really an example of it is like canceling your car insurance to save money right before getting in a crash. It's all connected. Are y'all seeing that? It's all connected. Inflation goes up, people rely on aid more, aid gets cut, people spend less, the economy slows down, companies lay people off, more people need aid again. It's a hamster wheel of poverty. Now that we have that established, let's talk about the human side. Why does this thing feel like a whole collective meltdown on the internet?
Look, 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 look!
Money panic is a real thing. When people lose financial security, their brains literally go into survival mode. You can't plan, you can't save, you can't think long term. You just think, how am I gonna survive today and get to tomorrow? And that's why social media looks like chaos right now.
I can't go out and get a regular job. I have 6 kids, like I just said, okay? And I'm doing this by myself.
You're seeing in real time footage of millions of people realizing, wait, the safety net's gone. But what's wild is it's not just people on food stamps that are feeling the pain. Middle class people are right there too.
You could always tell the food stamp people when you're at the grocery store and they got a full cart of anything they want. But us Monday to Friday, 9-to-5ers, 40, 50, 60-hour a week people, we only grab what we actually really need for that week.
Everyone is one layoff, one medical bill, one rent hike away from being in the exact same situation. The anger you're seeing online, it's about people finally snapping after years of financial pressure. Because it's exhausting to pretend everything's fine while your cost of living keeps climbing like it's competing in American Ninja Warrior.
Delicious fashion!
People are losing it because they're tired. Tired of working, saving, budgeting, and still feeling broke. That's how recessions start. That's how unrest starts. Money stress doesn't stay quiet, it spreads to everything. But alright, let's bring it all home. Because while it does all sound like doomsday, there absolutely are some takeaways here. First, control what you can control. You can't stop inflation or fix government policy, but you can build micro stability. Budget like crazy. Save like the prices will keep rising forever, because they probably will. 2, I don't know why I just held up like crazy. 2, prioritize housing, food, and health first. Those are your survival expenses, and people that don't have a ton of money spend most of their money on those things anyways, because the system doesn't care if your fridge is empty. Gotta eat, but not with DoorDash. Go to grocery stores and buy actual food. While the prices are still up, it is way less expensive than, you know, getting delivery and just smashing buy on every food order app that there is.
You're DoorDashing to your car while you're DoorDashing.
Right. We kind of have to eat.
And 3, Learn the system. You gotta learn the game. Even if you hate it, you gotta understand credit, taxes, inflation, and just how these assistance programs even work. Continuing to watch videos like mine by liking the video and smashing the subscribe button down below will definitely help you stay more informed on things like this. 4, don't feel ashamed for needing help. A lot of times the problem is an economy that made help necessary in the first place. And number 5, community matters. Whether it's friends, family, or local support, collective survival, tribe, community, whatever you want to call it, beats isolated struggle every time.
I don't have friends. I got family.
At the end of the day, the food stamp cuts are just a mirror. It's showing us how close to the edge so many people already are.
Cutting off the EBT, that's where I draw the line. That's where I draw the line.
People aren't mad just because their benefits got reduced. They're mad because they've been hanging on by a thread for years, and that thread just got thinner. If you learned something today or this video gave you a different perspective on the food stamp cuts, make sure you smash the subscribe button, drop a like on the video. It really helps for the YouTube algorithm and I greatly appreciate it. I would love for you guys to drop down in the comments and let me know how food stamp cuts are affecting you. Take care of yourself and don't forget, knowledge and education is the one thing that can never be cut off. YouTube thinks you guys will like one of the videos popping up here or here. But until next time, J2SMS out of here. Peace.